Welcome back to our channel where we explore current events and dive into pressing issues. Today we're delving into a topic that's been dominating headlines: the potential reintroduction of conscription in the British Army, fueled by concerns over troop numbers and potential conflicts with Russia. Recently, General Sir Patrick Sanders, the head of the British Army, voiced his concerns about low troop numbers and the need for a shift into the public mindset. The big question is whether conscription should be reconsidered. But before we dive into the discussion, we have some videos that capture how British Gen Z is reacting to these discussions. Stick around until the end because we'll also be providing a breakdown of the key points. Let's take a look at some responses from British Gen Z individuals. Some express apprehension about mandatory military service, while others debate the necessity of such measures into today's geopolitical landscape. We'll also provide a breakdown of the key points. It is clear that conscription is a multifaceted issue, with the British Army addressing concerns about troop numbers and potential threats from Russia. The question of conscription raises important considerations about the mindset of the public and the preparedness of the military. Stick around until the end to catch the breakdown. Let's get into the videos now.
Okay, so you might have seen the news that because the British Army is so small, Britons will be called up to fight in any future conflicts. So with that idea in mind, I've created a list of people that I think should enlist. So, Prince Andrew, right, he's actually served in our military before and actually famously cannot sweat. So he'd be ice cold in front of any opposition, provided the opposition wasn't a US court. Next up, Tommy Robinson, Britain First, EDL types. Anybody who has ever defended a statue and is like, oh, this is our country, get out! Defend it then. What else we got? LinkedIn wankers. You know, I want to hear about that positive growth mindset they've got whilst they're getting put in a trench. People who call for national service, the type of people that seem to think that they actually served in World War II despite being born in the 60s, like off you, Eric. Who else we got? Bouncers. They think they're all hardest anyway. Might as well send those guys. Landlords, because it's not a real job and, you know, you guys need one. This one might be controversial. I've said year sevens because we've all seen year sevens these days. They're absolutely feral and I feel like we could use some of that energy, shall we say. It might break a few aspects of the Geneva Conventions, but I'm sure we could get our way around it. This government doesn't really seem to get international law anyway. Next up, I've got Karens. You might be thinking, well, what's going on there? I'm thinking more from like a negotiation standpoint, you know, like I want to speak to your general, that might work. Anybody who's ever posted that clip of the blokes getting really muddy using heavy machinery, or, you know, the ones where it's like all like feminist wrecked, all type this, like, why do you do this job? I feel like those dweebs should be sent to the front lines because, yeah, it'd be kind of funny. And then I've got Taylor Swift fans, because I feel like we could do like Iraq war style propaganda and convince them that somehow Taylor Swift was directly implicated in all of this and that they had to fight for it, because let's face it, nobody wants to fight for this government, or maybe some people do, and if you do, like, come on, grow up. So yeah, I feel like that's probably the only way we could motivate people to fight. And yeah, that's who I've got down. So
as somebody from Britain, from the UK, I will give you the best advice you can have for how you get out of being drafted. What was that? You want to draft me? You want to put me in the army against Russia and go over and invade Russia? All right, okay. Put me down and you're gay. Yeah? If you put me down in that book, you're gay.
The UK government has insisted that people will not be forced to fight if war breaks out with Russia. You might have seen it all over the news today that the head of the British Army warned that Brits may have to be called up to fight if we go to war with Russia. Number 10 has ruled out conscription after the head of the army warned ordinary Brits may have to be called up because the armed forces isn't big enough. This comes as the chair of the NATO Military Committee said last week civilians must be ready for an all-out war with Russia within the next 20 years. Also last week, UK Defence Secretary Grant Shapps said that the country was moving from a post-war to pre-war world. Following on from the head of the British Army's comments, the Prime Minister's spokesperson insisted that military service would remain voluntary. According to reports, the Prime Minister's spokesperson said the British military has a proud tradition of being a voluntary force and there are no plans to change that. So you can all breathe a sigh of relief that there is no UK conscription before GTA 6.
Yeah, I can't lie, everyone get ready. Apparently we're going to war. World War III is confirmed. You know how there was World War I, World War II? They gave them numbers because they knew they were going to make it into a trilogy. Why am I seeing this on the news today? Britain must train citizen army to prepare for potential land war. Ordinary citizens should be trained and equipped to fight in the military in the event of a war with Russia. I don't know who's involved, I just know I'm not. I got a knee injury. Apparently right now the British army is too small. They've got only like 75,000 people. So now they're trying to recruit more people like it's one pyramid scheme. But these are forgetting the young people of today are not the same as the people that were getting drafted back in World War I, World War II. This is the TikTok and the Fortnite generation. Russia. No one takes anything seriously. You're gonna be there, you're gonna be trying to teach someone how to shoot a gun, and they're gonna ask you to build battle them. You've got someone making the war day in the life down there. There's a little group down there making a British people trying Russian candy for the first time YouTube video. This country wants us to fight for it. It wants us to get involved in a war that no one asked for. Because why? Because Rishi Sunak said so. Brother, no one voted for you. A great leader leads by example. Rishi Sunak, if you're watching this, grab a sniper and go and no-scope Putin. I'm not involved. I'm busy on that day. I have chicken in my freezer that I need to defrost. Rishi Sunak, you and your unelected self need to get a job. Not in politics. I heard the British Army's hiring. They're understaffed at the moment. Go and work there. And I can't lie, what happens if I refuse? Like, how does that work? Like, how are they going to force me to start doing army training? Or they're going to rock up to my door, the flipping army bailiffs, and tell me to just drop and do 8 burpees? Apparently, if you refuse, you get sent to prison. Well, in that case, I identify as an inmate. I said 3 meals a day, rent covered, water, electricity, all bills included. Officer, I'm here. Take me. During a time of war, that sounds like a luxury, all-inclusive resort. I'd rather be in there than risk my life for some weirdo billionaires in suits. If any of us get contacted to join the army, how about we all just double it and pass it on to anyone that voted no for a ceasefire in Gaza? This was so insistent on innocent people being... It's only right they get the front line. They've demonstrated their passion for death. It would be unfair for them to not have a front seat view. In fact, here's my ticket and here's a +1. Not just that, but UK government, like, what have you actually done for people in the UK? For you to now demand that we put our lives on the line in pursuit of your political agendas. You're demanding that people back beef that you've created. Meanwhile, what have you actually done for everyone here? Right now, you're running low on troops, but at least it's good to know that you're not running low on audacity. Because there's no way you're going to get thousands and thousands of people for a man named Rishi.
It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. British Army Chief wants a conscription to fight Russia. To fight Russia. To fight Russia. Man them. To fight Russia. Do you know what this means, blood? Who is this British Army Chief? Who is he? Is it Rishi Sunak's cousin? Because that's some Rishi Sunak there. Yeah? Going to war against Russia. Against Russia. Nah. True say. My passport's gonna expire in February. I've still got time to dip, you lot. Real talk. I'm considering going. And if we do end up going to Russia and I stay, I'm not fighting, bro. Take the Year 7s. Big man thing. Put the Year 7s front line. We might have a chance to win, I can't lie. But Putin, this is a message for you to Putin. Please. No smoky, bro. Please, blad. No smoky. I don't want to smoke with Putin. Putin, I'm not involved. I live here, not by choice, but by force. Right? I'm sorry. I don't want to be bombed.
The British public is reacting to the news with a mix of emotions. One prevalent sentiment is concern. Many individuals are expressing worry about the potential consequences of a war with Russia and how it might impact their safety and security. People are questioning whether the army is adequately prepared and equipped to handle such a situation. On the other hand, skepticism is also a notable reaction. Some individuals doubt the motives and credibility of the army chief, suggesting that he might be exaggerating the danger posed by Russia to justify increased military spending and recruitment. There's a suspicion that the call for conscription might be driven by factors beyond the immediate need for a national defense. Interestingly, humor has become a coping mechanism for some in the face of this serious topic. Many are resorting to jokes and memes to lighten the mood. From playful sarcasm to mocking stereotypes, people are finding ways to inject humor into the situation, perhaps as a way to navigate the uncertainty. Before we dive deep into the public's response, let's clarify what conscription is. It is a system that legally requires people to join the military and fight in a war if there ain't enough volunteers. Currently, there is no conscription in the UK, meaning the government does not have such a system and has no plans to introduce it in the future. General Sir Patrick Sanders, the Chief of the General Staff and a senior officer of the army, spoke about the need for a citizen army. This term refers to an army composed of ordinary people trained and equipped to fight, as opposed to professional soldiers. Sanders warned about a potential future war with a country like Russia, citing increasing aggression and threats in a speech on January 24, 2024. He called for the UK to prepare for a land war with Russia by mobilizing the entire nation and creating a citizen army. Sanders proposed increasing the army size from 74,000 to 120,000 within the next 3 years. Despite Sanders' proposals, the UK government clarified that there are no plans to introduce conscription. They emphasized that the British military is a voluntary force with a proud tradition. The government also also announced an increase in military spending from just over 2% of GDP to 2.5%, the highest level in Europe. The UK is grappling with the possibility of conscription amid its concerns raised by General Sanders. The public's reactions vary, including concerns, skepticism, and even humor. It is essential to understand the historical context and the government's stance on this matter. Now, let's continue our exploration of the nuanced debate surrounding the potential implications of conscription for the younger generation in the context of geopolitical tensions. Recent discussions have emerged around the possibility of conscription in the UK in the event of a war with Russia. The head of the army's warning has sparked conversations, prompting us to consider how Gen Z might navigate the prospect of conscription. A recent article by Ryan Coogan takes a particular stance on this matter. Coogan suggests that if recent challenges such as the pandemic, housing crisis, and political instability haven't toughened up Gen Z, conscription might serve as an experience to build resilience. This younger generation today, with their iPhones and their TikTok dances and their impenetrable slang, what does based even mean? Based on what? While Coogan employs satire, the article raises important questions about the preparedness of Gen Z for potential challenges. While recognizing the satirical nature of the article, let's explore the more serious question: how prepared is Gen Z for the prospect of conscription? Social media reactions vary, with some viewing conscription as a potential avenue for personal growth, while others critique it as an outdated response to complex geopolitical issues. It is crucial to analyze these diverse perspectives and consider the generational dynamics at play. Is conscription an effective means of resilience building, or does it raise ethical concerns that warrant careful considerations? Insights from experts provide valuable perspectives on the potential impact of conscription on Gen Z, adding depth to the ongoing conversation. As we wrap up this exploration of the conscription debate and its potential impact on Gen Z, we've witnessed a range of perspectives, from satirical commentary to serious considerations. It is clear that this topic invites complex discussions on resilience, preparedness, and the ethical dimensions of mandatory service. Your opinions matter, and we encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments section. How do you feel about the idea of conscription in today's world? Do you believe it's a valuable experience for personal growth, or do ethical concerns outweigh its potential benefits? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more engaging discussions, and hit that notification bell to stay informed about future explorations. I have been your host, thanking you for joining us. Let's continue these conversations and explore the issues that shape our world. Until next time, take care.